Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So today we are going to speak again about Bommal, but this time we're going to face Bommal on stage 90 hard. So at the moment what you see running in the background is my team that I already showed and I already made a video on, but it wasn't perfectly optimized and people did not have all the right stats that they needed. So now I have built everybody with the right stats, with the right defense, with the right speeds and with the right resistance specifically, and obviously accuracy to land or buffs and debuffs. So just to explain again, the way that this team works, it's pretty simple and it all focuses around Geomancer, Tatura, and basically it's Vogoth at the back right here. And the way that this one works is we do the damage on the boss specifically. The wave is going to be a little bit slow, as we see it takes like a minute and a half per wave, but the way we're gonna do this is by only doing damage with Geomancer's HP burn on the boss. And I'm not talking specifically about doing the HP burn as the damage, but talking about reflecting the damage from Geomancer's HP burn and from his passive. Basically, the way this one works is every time Geomancer places an HP burn on a certain champion or boss, whatever it is, in this case is gonna be the boss, he will reflect 30% of the damage incoming, either from the boss or from the dread bombs or any type of damage. He will reflect that damage onto the people, the champions, the whatever, whoever has that HP burn from him placed. So in our case, obviously Geomancer is always going to place his HP burn on the boss. That way we can always reflect the damage from the boss himself, but mostly from the dread bombs. The dread bombs are the ones that do most of the damage, and they basically do 40% of our HP as damage. So that insane amount of damage will already be reflected, or like not all, but 30% of that will be reflected on the boss. At the same time, for each instance of damage that we take, the Geomancer also has a chance to proc his passive. Apart from the 30% reflect, there's also 3% of the enemy's max HP that he does as damage. That's like a standard number that we will see if we look closely once we get to the boss part. Vogoth obviously here is for the sake of the healing, because every time he gets damage from bombs, from the dread bombs or the boss himself, he heals everybody. So if it's damage from the boss, he heals back 25% of the damage for as healing to everybody else, but on himself he only heals for half. So that's why I prefer and I like the way I have it here with two people that do healing, and that's healing and revive, and that's Godseeker Reniri, and at the same time that's Rector Drath. Rector Drath also comes in here as the aura for the resist. And when it comes to Tatura, the reason why I like Tatura and the reason why Tatura is so good is because Tatura has the decreased accuracy on the A1, and it is 100% when it's booked. So now if we get at the boss part, let's have a look. We start off straight out with the decreased accuracy, then we try to place the decreased attack, it doesn't work, and now we place the HP burn from Geo. And now as you see, he starts taking, boom, look at that damage. Barely started, just from his hits we already did a lot of damage in there. Now by having the perfect veil in there, we survive ourselves. It gives us a layer of protection, and now we just have to wait so that we come back to the HP burn from Geomancer. The way that I have Geomancer built is he's in a reflex set. He's in a reflex set that normally you could use the same one for the sake of Hydra. So for example, normally if you build for Nightmare Hydra, you will need around 400 accuracy on him. So if you put that 400 accuracy on him, you also need to bring him around 400 resist. So it's a little bit intensive, but if you can get those stats, it makes this boss so much easier. If you're not able to do that as easy, maybe you can try and bring somebody that brings an increased resistance, for example. So you have somebody like a Rathmatab that comes in that will lower everybody else's resistance requirement by a lot. So Rector Drath is not mandatory here, but it helps obviously because, like I said, her lead, her revive, and also she can bring that decreased attack on the A1. So that's why I specifically like it like this. And at the same time, they are, you know, they're epics. At the end of the day, they're epics, and the only legendary we have in here is Tatura. If you do not have Tatura for the decreased accuracy, it becomes a little bit more tricky, as you will need to rely on the decreased accuracy from Geomancer himself, or you could bring somebody else that does decreased accuracy, such as Lady Kimi, such as Lord Chamfort. Leech also does that. And normally, because they don't do it on the A1 like Tatura, you would have to bring maybe some sort of buff, debuff extension, like Vizier, or like what's her name, Thylesia. That could also work. But you know, if you're facing this stage at this point where I'm doing the recording, if you're facing this stage, you should normally have Tatura because he was a fusion, you know. So because he was a fusion, it should be a little bit, you know, it should be accessible if you went for that fusion. So look at this team, it went on full auto, I didn't have to stop, I didn't have to do anything else, it went just fine. Let's have a quick look at the presets, and then we're gonna have a look at the builds, and then I'm gonna test out to see if I just swap out Vogoth. If I swap out Vogoth for Master Butcher, let's see if it actually was the same, but we're gonna test after that. So for the first wave, you have everybody doing whatever. I just stopped Rector Dress A2 because I don't care about that. Make Rector open with the A1 on the boss, and then prioritize the revive. In case somebody dies, you can use this. As you saw, because you went full auto, this team could be a full auto, so if you want to farm this boss, you can do it with this team. Then Godseeker, there's no presets on her, just I made her prioritize the revive on the boss and the heal. Sometimes she does not like to do this A2 unless there's lots of buffs for her to extend, but you care about it mostly for the heals, so make her prioritize this one. For Tatura, I basically let Tatura do whatever he wants on the waves, and then when we get to the boss part, I made Tatura prioritize the A1, and then only use the A2. I don't want to use this one as well, it might help, but because it's full auto, I like to make sure I always have the A1 on Tatura to hit, to put the decreased accuracy, so that our resists that are like over 400 on everybody will be enough. When it comes to Geomancer, I locked Geomancer's A3 on the second wave because I want to make sure that once we get to the boss part, we have the HP burn straight up. At the same time, I locked the A2 because, like I said, Geomancer is in a reflex set, so I want Geomancer to proc the reflex at least once, so we come back to this one faster. If he had the A2 as well, it's a chance that the reflex procs on the A2 as well, not on just the A3, and then he just does the A3 and the A1. Bear in mind, simple thing, this Geomancer does not have mastery, so if he had masteries, it could be even easier. If you built a Geomancer specifically for this case, you could even build him with masteries with a War Master and just give him Eagle Eye or Unshakable to get that extra resistance and accuracy that we actually need. Then Vogoth, for Vogoth, he has nothing. I just locked his A2 on the boss part because I don't really care about that one. Let's have a quick look at the build as well. So like I said, Tatura is just in random sets, just for the sake of hitting those stats. High speed, accuracy, resist, and some damage. Basically, this damage helps more on the wave to try and kill it faster, but it's nothing too crazy. If you cannot get the damage, don't care about it. One thing, do bear in mind, try to get Tatura to be your fastest and make sure it's over 250, because that's the speed that the boss has. On stage 90, he's 250 speed, so that's why my Tatura is 262. The accuracy that I need, you need around 350 to be kind of sure to land the decreased accuracy, but you know, 330 it worked for me, and 440 resist for the sake of resisting the buff strip and the placing of the bombs. Then these are the masteries I use on Tatura. Basically, just these are the masteries that I use for the sake of like other content for clan boss. This one helps, I guess, for a chance to extend that decreased accuracy, you know, that he places on day one. Godseeker, these are her masteries. War Master, Life Drinker, and you know, some support, not even full masteries. She's in a Relentless, and again, she's pretty slow but has high resistance. Like, this build could also be used for the sake of Hydra, if you don't care about using her A2 to also remove the buffs that the Hydra has in case they get stolen, but like, that's not as important. So if you can get this resist, this should be pretty fine for the sake of like hard Hydra for resisting the mischief. For higher ones, it might not be as good of a chance. You need around 450 for the sake of brutal to resist the head of mischief. But still, pretty slow, so this should be achievable. If you just put in Relentless for a chance to proc it, come back to the heals, come back to the revive faster. Rector Drath is in random sets again. She's again over 250. You don't really need Rector to be over 250. I just made it like that because, you know, there's a chance she could land a decreased attack on the A1, so that would make the boss do less damage when he hits us. Again, same principle. The accuracy to try and land the decreased attack on the A1, and the resistance. If you don't really care about the decreased attack, which we saw that barely landed for me, we don't care about the accuracy, just care about the resist, the speed, and survivability stats, and that's about it. And I don't even have masteries on this rector again, so you know, hopefully the people that say like, oh, but it's the gear as well. Yes, it's the gear, but at the same time, I don't have full mastery, so I believe that if you have these champions, it should be pretty achievable. Vogoth having a Guardian because you want to absorb some of that damage that comes in. Same principle, the accuracy that need, and then just HP, and I didn't really care about speed. I just put 420 resist on Vogoth in the optimize and just took the scroll and took it max to HP and just asked for the Guardian set. These are the masteries that I use on Vogoth. This type of build, it could actually work for the sake of Arena as well, but no, we don't really care about resistance for Arena, just straight up make him as a mid shield. So you like to get Bulwark to absorb 5% of the damage as well, and also Selfless Defender to absorb the first hit in the boss, because after that it doesn't work anymore. This one only works for the first hit on each round. And then obviously the support you a little bit for the extra healing here, and here doesn't really work because unless we get the stun. So yeah, this is the way that I had Vogoth. And then Geomancer, like I said, no masteries, obviously fully booked here like Geomancer's fully booked. And these are the Geomancer stats, over 250 speed because I want to place that HP bird before the boss goes. So same principle, 420 resist, 300 plus accuracy to make sure we land that HP bird, and then speed and then survivability. As you see, there's not too crazy survivability stats, but by having healers alongside him, we should be fine. This is the way that this team goes. Support just straight up around Geomancer. So let me, I'm gonna pause this here for a second. I'm gonna try and swap the gear from Vogoth and put it on Master Butcher, because I know lots of people maybe do not have Vogoth. I'm gonna try and put it on Master Butcher, see if he can do the same job in the same team, and I'm gonna come right back and show you at the end like yes it worked or no it did not work. So see you in a bit. Okay, so we're back. So this one worked as well with Master Butcher instead of Vogoth. Just a little bit dodgier and you know might be a little bit slower. Okay, this was a little bit slower than the previous one, but it still can work. It might not be as reliable as it is with Vogoth, but if you don't have a Vogoth and this is the only option that you got, build this one. So you know these are the stats that I got on him: 439 resist and you know high HP. Maybe for the sake of Master Butcher, it might be a good idea to try and get him fast, like over 200 speed as well, because the problem with his passive is like this. When it says like this: when attack heals all allies equal to the amount of damage taken. So basically you get the exact amount of damage that you take from the bombs that will be transferred straight up into heals to everybody else. However, it's on a 1 turn cooldown. So if you get one instance of damage and that turn he doesn't get a turn, the next ones will not be as good as heals. But at the same time he has a fun one here. It's like revives a random ally with full HP when this champion is killed. So basically he brings a different type of kit from Vogoth, but he also brings like a passive backup revive. So you know, you can try and test it out and see if it works for you if you're trying to for the sake of farming. If not, if you just need to do it once, you know, at the end of the day you could even manual it and just use the right skills at the right time. Do the extra A1 on with Tatura when you have to, because sometimes, for example, he starts with the A1, then he does the A2, but the boss might not gonna have the decreased accuracy if Geomancer does not land it from his A1, because you know he gets an extra turn early on, so this one drops pretty fast. So it's all down to you guys, however you want to build it. But like I said, what I showed you is that there's an option of actually being able to full autoing. It's not going to be 100% reliable. Like I said, there's still a little bit of layer of RNG. You can get 3% by the boss, you can get bombs placed on yourself, you can get buff stripped at the wrong time, you can get some random stuns at the wrong time if like the bombs that are placed on you should not be placed explode. So you know, there is some RNG, but still, it's pretty reliable, as you saw. And you know, I've run this quite a few times, and it hasn't failed. With the team with Voga has never failed, and you know, it's not min-maxed. It is not at the highest level possible, because like I said, no masteries here, no masteries here. For example, with this one, no masteries here. So there's road to improvement. So hopefully this is you know, relatable enough for you guys. But this is gonna be it for the video today, guys. Hopefully this helps you to be able to beat that stupid Bommal on level 90 now. And you know, hope you come back for more of my content. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, because I'm trying to put out quality content every single day so that I can help you guys as much as possible. So thank you for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace, love, take care everyone. Bye guys.